Few might kill for fame. Social media personality Charleston White seems to have taken the idea quite literally. White has always been vocal about his anti-Deion Sanders sentiment, and on the latest drop of Funky Friday podcast, hosted by Cam Newton, White unleashed a new attack on Colorado head coach Deion Sanders. Host Newton put his observations succinctly. I see Charleston White, right? And I know what you really stand for. I respect what you stand for. How it's articulated sometimes is something like, why you gotta go all over there? For instance, this quote unquote coming out of what you said, F Deion Sanders and his sons for leaving Jackson State, F Nipsey Hussle, F King Von, F Jay-Z, enlighten me, Cam Newton said. This seemed to do it for White. Backing and justifying his past statements, White noted, I can say F Deion because Deion coasted my city before with Prime. I know the Eastside Falcons used to play, so I knew about Deion. That ain't respect worthy. And I ain't really been saying F Deion. I'm telling black people to say F Deion because what happened? We took our love and support to support Colorado, and we forgot all about these HBCUs that's winning or losing. He heavily criticized Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State for Colorado, knowing fully well they didn't have a bag when he took that on. He stated the amount of spotlight Deion was able to bring Colorado school, that's 92% white, he could have brought that on to HBCU. Instead, the host concluded his take on the critique with a question directed at White. So let me ask you this. If you was in Deion Sanders' situation, you would have stayed at Jackson State? The answer was no, although he made it clear that that wasn't the point. Now, the interesting part about this is I made a video about Deion Sanders and him leaving HBCU and how that affected many people. And you can see clearly this is on my channel. It's about 1 month ago. About 1,000 people were able to see it. And I also, now again, I don't share a lot of the views that Charleston White does, but surprisingly enough, I stand firmly with Charleston White in his perspective on Deion Sanders and what he's done and how he's fooled the black community. Here's a little bit of what I said about a month ago. And remember, please like, comment, subscribe to help me retire my mama. So after these kids got recruited there, you left. Put up a big old thing about, hey man, we need more money. We need more resources in order for us to go out and recruit and compete with these big schools. We need more money for the field. We need more money for all of these things, right? We've seen what Ed Reed was dealing with. So you made a big deal, as you should. Hey, you won a championship, so it's only right for you to get more funds, right? Now, instead of staying, because your whole marketing plea was that you're building a place for young black men to thrive and succeed over at a historically black HBCU, right? That was your marketing plea, but guess what happened? You got a pretty big bag to leave. Yeah, you got a pretty big bag to leave, as you should. Hell of a coach. Building a great culture, a winning culture, dope. But what you didn't explain to the black community and black mothers this was, your kid's going to commit here and he's going to say no to Lane Kiffin. He's going to say no to Kirby Smart. He's going to say no to Dabo Sweeney. And he's going to come play for me. And I'm going to be here at HBCU. I'm going to be here at JSU. So, no, you didn't tell them that. So what happened was you took the big bag and you went to Colorado. Great opportunity. Now you go from HBCU to Division I. But what about those kids that you recruited, those 5-star athletes who were speaking to Lane Kiffin, who were in communications and offered by Kirby Smart? They said, fuck that. We're going to go with Deion Sanders. Now, that's a little bit of what I had to say. Jumping back into the Cam Newton and Charleston White situation. The Jackson State, which has been historically black college or university, Sanders had 2 successful seasons, so I got to give him that. The transfer portal, that was a mechanism that had just started in NCAA, allow players to switch schools without sitting out a year. He used that and brought out a campaign to make Colorado's roster overhaul that entailed 57 transfers in 2022. In fact, more than 60 Colorado athletes either chose a different program or terminated their college football stints. Wow. I didn't know that. Being a controversial social media personality, White indulges in unpopular opinions and uncomfortable questions. He had previously made headlines with his brutal comment regarding Coach Prime's son, Shadur, struck a sharp chord with the NFL fans. Shadur's mother had to step in and neutralize the situation. Oh, wow. I didn't know he said something about Shadur. Interesting. Now he said, Charleston White had previously stirred up outrage by we're going to jump into the Cam Newton clip. Don't worry, y'all. By expressing his desire to put a hit on Shadur, saying, I damn near want to put 20,000 up on any college player that'll hurt his son. Oh wow. Yeah, I completely condemn that. Don't stand with that or agree with that. Shador, a 21-year-old quarterback, has been targeted by White in a video where he disparaged both Coach Prime and his son for the same reasons stated above, that is joining them with blank folks football team in Colorado. Worrying for his son's safety, Deion's ex-wife took matters into her own hands. Shador's mother, Pilar Sanders, responded to White's threats on TikTok, expressing her disbelief and disappointment. She called out White, saying, "So this grown little guy wants to put a hit out on my son? Charleston White, let it be known. You putting a hit out on my son?" Wow. White, however, was yet to respond to Sanders' comment. Now, I can appreciate what Deion has done with Shador, but I think his handling of the limelight, of the success, has been not too good, to say the least, right? For him being in the position that he is, for him being a newfound role model to younger generations, and this whole egotistical flexing the watch, materialistic things, Rolls Royce getting ticketed at the campus, a lot of it is outside of what happens on the field, and that isn't necessarily a great look for a college football player heading to the league. And on top of that, a potential NFL quarterback that's going to be leading your entire franchise. So that's my take on Shador. But jumping back into this Charleston White and Cam Newton clip, oh man, the world has been speaking about it. It has a lot of people divided. Some people don't like his some people don't like his delivery. Some people can appreciate the message. But let's get into it.
Why you got to go all the way over there? For example, this is quote unquote coming out of what you said. Fuck Deion Sanders and his sons for leaving Jackson State. Fuck Nipsey Hussle. Fuck King Von. Fuck Jay-Z.
Yeah, fuck them niggas.
What? That ain't Conan?
No.
What enlighten me?
They don't say that niggas say fuck LeBron James. LeBron James get mistreated more than any athletes in the world. I ain't saying that for white people.
But niggas don't say that.
Niggas ain't my kind of niggas. These niggas go to white people stadiums and buy popcorn and hot dogs.
So you never been to a football game?
I do, but I ain't paid for it. And I don't buy no hot dogs and popcorn.
So what you do?
I really don't watch sports at all.
So what's your thing?
Strip club, hoes, and po nigga babies. And not fucking their mamas. Like the little league football coaches. See, I'm the nigga in the projects and in the ghetto that give away the toys, make sure the kids get, and don't touch their mama's pussies. I ain't like them other niggas. So I can say fuck Deion, because nigga, Deion coached in my city before with Prime. Nigga, I know the Eastside Falcons used to play, so I know about Deion.
Hey, that ain't respect worthy for you to say,
No, that ain't respect worthy. Because what I saw was, and I ain't really saying fuck Deion, I'm telling black people to say fuck Deion. Because what happened, we took our love and our support to Colorado, and we forgot about all these HBCUs that's winning or losing. We ain't said high five them. We don't know one black coach at HBCU.
Okay, now stop. Because like I said, behind everything that you say has some truth. But to that, I would suggest you say in that statement, I ain't gonna say per se, fuck Deion. But look, let's leave that part out.
I'm saying it.
But what we receive would be like, yo, even though Deion Sanders had to make a professional decision to go chase a bag that Jackson State didn't necessarily have.
Nah, man, that's where, like I said, I made this video 1 month ago, prior to any of this Cam Newton interview, prior to Charleston White speaking about Deion. So this is all very refreshing to me. But I must say, he's absolutely right. I agree with him 100%, being that all of those kids that were left at the HBCU, all of these things now, Deion Sanders was a millionaire before he took the job at HBCU. He knew they were under-resourced. He knew they were underrepresented. But his whole marketing plea was to attract young black athletes, the best of the best, and bring them to HBCU in order to establish HBCUs for the future generations. It was never about money. Now, I think it highlighted the kind of person Deion Sanders is when issues of money and water and situations like that, where it wasn't about Deion. It wasn't about the kids. And coaching is about these young men, these young kids turning into young men. And that was the last priority for Deion Sanders. A lot of five-star athletes, a lot of highly recruited players went and committed to play for Deion Sanders, but Deion Sanders left. Now, if you know anything about business, it doesn't even have to be college, but business, right? You offer someone something, they turn it down, they look for others. The next time you offer them, it won't be as good. You might not even offer them again. So what do you think happened to those hundreds of kids? What do you think happened to those kids who were supposed to be the change makers in their family, the ones to break generational curses? It affects them dearly when someone left to go for the bigger bag, but you're telling me to build my future and to stay down and to be a real man. That's the part that pisses me off about Deion Sanders. Now, I won't say F Deion Sanders, but if you go through my content, I've made a lot of videos, and I've said this prior to this interview, a whole month prior to this. Deion Sanders must be held accountable.
Let's not forget about the other HBCU coaches that's out there.
Let me
that's
just say,
doing good.
Deion knew they didn't have the bag when he took that on. It was already an agreement that we know we go struggle. He even agreed to give portions of that to that facility. He already knew this. The white folk just came and do what they always do. Come get the nigga and take the attention that he would go bring to the spotlight on the HBCU. Now this big old light that could have been on these HBCU is now on this one white school that's 92% white.
So let me ask you this.
Now, nobody wants to speak on that. I ain't gonna lie. Cam Newton did a lot of backpedaling. Charleston White, he did his thing. Now, there's a lot of things I don't agree with, but his messaging was very clear. The delivery, I don't pay attention to because I don't live in that dimension. But his message is very clear. Now, think about if Deion Sanders, who was capable of bringing in millions and millions of Colorado, would have stayed at JSU for that long, for continuing to build, right? Now, I'm not into the whole white and black thing. I'm not going to make it a race thing. But the reason why I speak about HBCU is because his whole intention was to rebuild the HBCU and establish it. But instead, you do the exact opposite at the expense of our youth. And no one's willing to speak up because they'd rather be sidelined at a Colorado football game. That's that. What do y'all think, though, man? Let me know in the comment section.